Game of November 17, 2013. Dan Jennings records a double-double versus the Kansas State Wildcats with 14 points and 12 rebounds. Watch this now.
As you look at Dan Jennings, opened with the win over Hawaii Pacific. Then a road loss at number 6 Arizona. They got rolled pretty bad there. And then a tough home loss Thursday to Loyola Marymount. A close game all the way, but Long Beach State seemed to be in control and had the lead most of the way, and it went south in the final seconds. And so they come in here licking their wounds a bit. K-State controls the tip, and Will Spradling, the point guard. Got to put it in perspective. They led by 5 with a minute left. Alley-oop, Blitzley, Owundu, freshman to freshman. Owundu is so athletic, and K-State in a set play gets an easy basket. It'll be Spradling defensively as K-State will start in man on the point guard, Caffey. Caffey had 8 points and 9 rebounds against K-State 2 years ago when these two teams met in the championship game of the Diamond Head Classic in Hawaii. Spencer to drive, runs into trouble there, and Southwell comes out of the pack with the ball. Owundu quickly up the floor. K-State looking for consistency from the freshman. Owundu, a double-double to start the season, but not a big factor in the last game. It's nice to get him off to a quick start with that dunk. Last Wednesday, K-State didn't get its first field goal till almost the 13-minute mark. Southwell hits for 3. Only his second triple of the season. He was 1 of 8 coming into today. High percentage shooter last year, really came on at the end of the year, hitting the 3 ball, and this time confidently knocking it down. This is McKay LaSalle, the 3-point bomber for Long Beach State, who wears 31. Every one of his shots this year has been from 3-point range. Spradling, good defense on Caffey. Foster on the run for K-State. Southwell, not this time. Jennings is there with the board. He averages 12 rebounds a game to go along with 15 points. The Wildcats looked like they had numbers, but settled for a 3. Jennings threw it away. State stand picking up where they left off the other night against Oral Roberts, shooting 67% in the second half.
Yeah. A set play for a slam dunk over the top of the defense, a good way to start, and then using a ball screen, Shane Southwell off the bounce stops and knocks down a 3-pointer, and he's made a lot of 3-pointers early in the year. It's nice to see Shane Southwell make that one.
Yeah, both teams have struggled from the 3-point stripe in the low 20s. Foster off the dribble. Knocked into the hands of Spradling. Foster was 4 of 5 from the perimeter from 3-point range the other night. Owundu on the drive and stepped out of bounds.
Good thought, just did not execute it, got too deep into the lane and stepped out of bounds. K-State using full court pressure early and then falling back with Will Spradling having the responsibility early of guarding Mike Caffey. Long Beach State changed up their lineup today, starting A.J. Spencer.
There's McKay LaSalle with 3, and Long Beach State is on the board. LaSalle, a junior out of Utah.
He's only hitting 29% of his 3-point shots, but he is a good outside shooter.
On the drive is Foster, and he'll head to the line to shoot 2. Foul on Dan Jennings is his first, and the first foul of the game.
That'll be a big factor for Dan Munson to watch. Is will Dan Jennings get in foul trouble? I talked about playing well and physically inside. I think K-State needs to take the basketball right at Dan Jennings and see if you can possibly get him in foul trouble.
Marcus now 6 of 9 from the free throw line in his freshman season. As you look at Jennings, started his career with Bob Huggins at West Virginia, now in his 3rd year at Long Beach State, a senior out of Staten Island, New York. Athletic, strong,
had 27 points last year against UCLA.
Yeah, he's played his best against the best competition. Spradling off target on a 3, weak side board to a 1-2. Will try again. Yes. Just the third 3 of the season for Spradling, who was 2 of 9 entering the game. So, well, this is what Bruce Weber was looking for more production and some leadership from his senior class. And both Shane Southwell and Will Spradling starting well today.
They're doing it, and they're working on the offensive boards very hard. Have a couple already.
Caffey weaving his way through traffic over to A.J. Spencer, who has a big crowd here from Shawnee, Kansas. Played at Shawnee Mission Northwest. Here's Spradling on the good look from Southwell.
Well, Southwell's a good passer. Got it right into the pocket, that shooting pocket, and allowed Will Spradling a second opportunity. And players around the country would love to have 2 3-point opportunities on each time down the court. K-State able to execute. Long Beach State has a little trouble in the rebounding area. It's not one of their strengths, and K-State hopes to be able to get a lot of offensive rebounds today. They're doing it early.
Saw A.J. Spencer, their all-time leading scorer at Shawnee Mission Northwest, and then had a nice career at Hutchinson Community College.
Coming off a good game, gets his first start for Long Beach State.
12 off the bench on Thursday against LMU.
Another one of those players that you get around this region, Kansas City and the state of Kansas, that are different schools around the country that you may not be keeping track of.
Mario Lawrence off to DJ. Trying to beat the shot clock. Well strong in the short corner jumper.
He had to shoot that shot on the shot clock almost running out.
Caffey, great look inside, and Spencer's got his first 2. In the Final Four in 58 and 64. But then Stan also spent 5 years at Long Beach State from 78 to 83.
And to tie that knot a little bit tighter, Tex Winter actually brought his Long Beach State basketball team back here to Manhattan to play against K-State. Over a 2-year period, they had a home and home. So Tex Winter at Long Beach State actually coached against the Wildcats twice.
Spradling gets the second, has 4. The series, K-State leads it 4-2. And again, these two played 2 years ago on Christmas Day in the finals of the tournament in Hawaii, the Diamond Head Classic, winning 77-60. Rodney Magruder unstoppable that day with 28 points, 10 of 11 from the field.
And Will Spradling had 17 points. K-State took off from the beginning of that ball game and won that tournament. I could say it's unseasonably warm here in November until you remind me of where I was on Christmas Day a couple years ago.
McKay, 1-dribble 3-pointer, won't drop. B.J. Johnson, K-State's leading rebounder at 8 a game with the defensive rebound. Thomas Gibson awaiting at the scorer's table. We'll check in at the next dead ball. We'll see Thomas for the first time this season. Omari on the dribble drive, hangs and scores.
He's able to get to a strong hand, being a left-hander. He made his move from the right side. He got to his strong hand, was able to get the ball in off the back of the rim.
Spencer, ball fake, tried to leave it down low, but Jennings couldn't handle.
DJ Johnson also got his fingertip on it. Good defense, stopping that bounce pass.
Wonders looking for a driving lane. Good ball movement over to Spradling. Wonder just ripped it away from A.J. Spencer, and now Southwell with the travel. There he is, Thomas Gibson, to a roar of approval from the crowd. Seeing his first action returning from that head injury that's kept him out of the first couple of ball games, and this is going to make a big difference, don't you think, Stan?
Absolutely. You got a veteran, a starter, the biggest guy, both physically and height. It's what K-State needs right now. You saw how many freshmen have played so far early in the game here. And those guys are doing a pretty good job for freshmen, but where's that settling for? So knowing how to play at this level game after game.
Southwell comes up with the steal. Nigel Johnson will
be a factor at all.
5 of 11 from the floor. 2 of 5 from three-point range. And again, a slimmed down Thomas Gibson's lost about 25 pounds since last season. Still one of the bigger guys in the Big 12. And how about this? Increased his vertical jump by 5 inches over last season. That was a major difference. It's going to be interesting to see it in action. Nearly forced another turnover there with the defense on Jennings. Nigel Johnson.
Gibson's been able to practice, so he's not out of shape right now. It's an important aspect of when he comes back in. He's trying to ease his way back to working out, then practicing, and now finally game action.
Nino Williams into the game for the first time at 13-minute mark here, replacing Southwell. And the great thing about Gibson being here is now DJ Johnson doesn't have to play 36 minutes like he did in the opening loss to Northern Colorado. Good interior passing. Samuels can't finish, but Jennings does just to beat the shot clock, and he's on the board with his first 2.
Well, there you saw the monster offensive rebound and putback, and he is so athletic. K-State's got to try to keep him off the boards. An impressive player.
Stan mentioned the 27 last year against UCLA for Jennings. Also had 20 at Syracuse and 16 at Ohio State. Gibson up high to Lawrence. Rebounded by Samuels.
With Gibson unavailable, K-State also had to play with a smaller lineup. They really didn't want to play 2 bigs very often. Now they've got the minutes of availability.
Maury Lawrence off to Nino Williams, and K-State has the transition game in high gear for Bruce Weber to begin this one.
Nino Williams on the finish, but it's all started again by K-State defense. Amari Lawrence picks up the ball that Nigel Johnson tapped away, and hanging in the air, Nino Williams takes the foul, is able to score the basketball, and K-State's off and running. Very smooth and quick action by the Wildcats. And Dan Munson has got to wonder what is going on. He saw the best of K-State on Christmas Day a couple years ago. The Wildcats jumped out to a 16-7 lead and never looked back. Here they are with a 17-7 lead.
Foster back in now for Bruce Weber. Sal out to Spencer for 3. Tough luck there. Omari Lawrence with the board. K-State doing a good job on the defensive glass with one exception.
From behind the arc says, that's fine, I'm open.
And an extra step by Gibson. It'll come up empty on that possession.
Yeah, because of this block right here, this could be an easy score. And then hustling back and tipping the ball, Chris Gully, the 6'7" player from Dallas, Texas, able to block the shot.
Actually, that probably should have been a goaltend. The new rule this year, whether the ball is on its downward arc or not, if you pin it against the backboard and it's above the rim, it's supposed to be a goaltend. Like that was just above the rim.
It was good hustle just to get his hands on the ball. It looked like K-State had a breakout layup.
Another steal by K-State, spraddling ahead to a 1-2. And now Will all alone. No.
K-State is not in this game right now, but they should be 4 points further behind after the last 2 opportunities the Cats had.
Jennings into a double team, and the tie-up will stay at this end. Long Beach having all sorts of trouble with K-State's defense.
Yeah, a lot of help. K-State getting their hands on the ball, and 2 different defenders are in there with their hands on the ball with Dan Jennings, and it's a tie-up.
Inside to Samuels. Working with his back to the basket. Now over the back of Southwell. Foul on Samuels.
Samuels has a quick leaping ability, but he just happened to be in the wrong position when the ball came back at him. One of the junior college transfers who plays for Long Beach State.
Cats in the bonus now, so a 1-and-1 for Shane Southwell. 3 of 6 from the free throw line on the young season. Shane Southwell. His numbers this season, last year averaging 8.4 on the season, almost 10 points a game in Big 12 play. And the first one is good.
It's important for K-State to make their free throws now, because when you get your momentum swings, you got to take advantage of it. And we've seen that in the first 2 K-State games. The team that led by 12 early in the ball game ended up losing the game. So maybe your 12-point lead should have been 18 points. And if you don't take advantage of it, it may come back and haunt you. And right now, K-State has all the momentum, but like we said, haven't scored every point that they should have.
Long Beach State fumbles it away again in the post. Now Wondu has it stripped. Good play by Caffey. Caffey 1-on-2. Splits the defenders. What a sweet move by Mike Caffey.
And there you see the best of Mike Caffey slicing through the Wildcats after stealing the ball. And you also see a freshman mistake by Wesley Wondu, taking it in between a bunch of defenders for no reason.
First bucket of the game for Caffey, who came in averaging almost 19 a game. And that's the one guy you really don't want to see get it going if you're Bruce Weber. Sprattling, floater on the baseline drops. 6 for Will.
That's really nice that he's added that to his game. Near the end of last year, he started with that running 8-footer. Nothing but the bottom of the net from the baseline.
Caffey's had games of 27 as he lets fly a 3. 27.
Trying to do every second they can to these freshmen. So much to tell them about action on the court. They don't have enough tape yet to spend a lot of time with every situation. So during the game, they're trying to say, this is a new situation. Here's how you need to react. Wanda's very athletic. For a K-State team that's not that tall, one of the bigger players.
Johnson all over Caffey. Long Beach State hasn't got into anything yet. Spencer trying to make something happen on his own. Spins his way to the hole and draws the foul. We'll step aside. All Kansas State on a Sunday afternoon. Cats already have 7 steals as we look at A.J. Spencer headed to the line to shoot 2.
Then he is from the area, and his family is able to come easily over a 2-hour drive from Kansas City, where he grew up in the Kansas City metropolitan area in the Shawnee Mission School District, to watch him play here. But there are other players on Long Beach squad from Texas, and many of their family members have made it up here to Kansas as well to watch them play. The question is do they get to go to Puerto Rico to watch their kids play? The next stop for both these teams.
Yeah. Long Beach State will head to Kansas City tonight. Stay overnight, practice there tomorrow before heading out on Tuesday.
Long Beach State is now going to a zone defense, trying to match up in that zone as much as possible. Trying to find a way to slow down K-State.
Southwell left alone on the wing. Yes, for 3. Second triple of the day for Shane Southwell.
And he had that ball spinning at about 100 miles an hour as it went through the net.
So K-State answers the zone with a quick 3 from Southwell. Caffey, tough shot in the lane, leaves it short, and will stay at this end.
Shane Southwell has a good shot, but the key is getting open as they swing the basketball. The zone defense guys are going away from him. And they're just a step late because it's not man-to-man. He makes the defender pay.
Spencer trying to answer and can't. Southwell the rebound.
When they're playing that zone, they're trying to match up. They don't want 2 guys with the basketball.
Just inside the arc. Shane leaves it short this time and rebounded by Jennings.
49ers loose with the basketball so far.
Deep three won't go from Chris Goley. K-State bringing a double team, trying to get the ball out of Caffey's hands. Second one is good from Chris Goley. He was 2 of 19 overall and 1 of 11 from three-point range coming into today. Found the mark on that one. The three-point shot is his shot, so he sticks with it. And you get a second opportunity on the same possession. Good things seem to happen. We saw it with Will Spradling in K-State earlier today. Johnson. He's had some tough shooting luck and could not get a shot to fall now in his third game in a K-State uniform. Foul on the rebound. Nick Shepard, I believe, is called from Long Beach State. Shepard, one of the 2 players, along with Mike Caffey, who were on the roster when Kansas State played against Long Beach State in Hawaii. Shepard, a top 150 recruit out of Missouri City, Texas, hasn't been real productive in his career. Now a junior as DJ misses badly on the free throw. Good help defense by Nino Williams, but it doesn't matter sometimes when you've got talent like Caffey.
That's big time. K-State tried to get the ball out of his hands playing the ball screen with the help defense, and then he was able to lean back over the bigger player. Points to pull within 14, but K-State's hitting only 37.5% of their shots. And think how many bunnies and layups they've made. So you look at their shots other than fast break layups, and they really don't have a very good shooting night going.
Done a lot of the damage in transition, but they've had some great open looks from three-point range, but just 3 of 13. Of course, K-State opened the season going just 2 of 19 from beyond the arc, but then a little more patient, a little more judicious the other night against Oral Roberts when they were 5 of 11.
49ers trying to finish off this half. Love to get within single digits. Continue this run they're on.
Caffey threw it away, looking for Jennings.
Tough angle there. He had a couple of defenders in his face and tried to gauge where Jennings would be, threw the ball ahead of him and out of bounds.
Jennings with just 2, Caffey with just 4.
Long Beach stays with his own defense.
49ers have scored the last 5. Let's see what K-State wants to do against this zone. Foster will drive it. Now tipped away, trying to feed it inside to Gibson.
Dan Munson's hopes right now is that K-State can't get the ball inside against the zone, and with their three-point shooting not going well, they may not be able to score.
Another steal, another layup.
Looks like he steps on the foot of Omari Lawrence. Gosh, you hate that in basketball, stepping on someone else's foot.
Branford Jones on the drive and the foul on Spradling.
And so far from the action, those guys are just trying to sort their way through each other down the court. Omari Lawrence didn't even see Mike Caffey coming.
Only the 4th team foul committed in the first half by K-State. Jones looking for goalie. Good closeout by Wesley Owandu.
Who's going to pick up the scoring for Mike Caffey?
Well, you knew LaSalle wasn't going to shoot that because he doesn't shoot 2-pointers. But a nice dump down feed, and the layup is good from Jennings.
Well, good offense right now is just getting the ball up off the rim and hope that Dan Jennings is there. That time with his left hand, he tips it back in.
Foster deep 3, yes. First field goal of the game for Marcus Foster. It's about the same spot he got that 10-0 run started the other night. Maybe a step further out. And the lead is doubled here, 34-17.
He's only shot 2 3-pointers in a day. When K-State shot many, we need him to shoot more of these.
Spradling pulls the rebound away from Samuels. Foster again, and hits.
Get the ball up court and make a good pass to the corner.
Foster leading the way with 9. Came in averaging 16 and a half. Southwell right behind him with 8 in the first half. Caffey still on the bench for Dan Munson, so Jones will bring it up against Spradley. LaSalle, step back 3, back rim. Spradling runs down another rebound. He's been great on the defensive glass so far. Southwell attacks. Couldn't get the roll, and out of bounds to who? It'll go to the beach. That was Spradling's 3rd rebound here in the first half to go along with 6 points and a couple of assists. Kick out to goalie, who's got his 2nd triple. Came in averaging just 2.7. A junior out of Dallas. Tough catch for Southwell. The turnaround is good. Southwell in double figures with 10. That's one guy K-State would really like to get some rhythm for headed to the tournament in Puerto Rico, and it looks like he's getting it here in the first half. Jones had it blocked by a one-do. Jennings got it back, splits 2 defenders, and gets it to Kiss home.
You've got to be aware of where Jennings is all the time when he's on offense. The guy loves to lurk around the rim and get offensive rebounds.
Southwell inside the arc. Good defense there by Michaelis. Good to go here for the second half.
One fan thinking ahead, getting his sign ready for the game, and you're on TV, but so is Mike Caffey, and it's good to see him on the floor starting the second half after being injured.
49ers will open play in the Puerto Rico tournament meeting Michigan, while K-State gets Charlotte in the opening.
Everyone around the country knows a lot about the Michigan name in basketball after last year's appearance in the finals.
DJ Johnson has his first 2. He came in averaging 12 points and 8 rebounds. It's been the perimeter players doing most of the damage today. K-State gets an inside touch for Johnson.
Good work by Bruce Weber to get him involved in the scoring by getting that set call at the half. Down that low block, the left-hander able to score off the backboard easily.
Of course, it was DJ who had 4 quick field goals to begin the second half the other night against ORU to stretch that lead.
And you'd hope that that ball game will get DJ Johnson to play at another level. It was his best all-around ball game. Like you said, he's been playing big minutes in the early part of the season because Thomas Gibson not available, but the quality of play much better in the second game.
He's averaged 32 minutes a game. Only Marcus Foster, the freshman, has played more at 32 and a half. And Long Beach State runs out of clock and turns it over. Bruce Weber's going to love that defense.
We said one of the keys for Bruce Weber's squad today was playing against those ball screens, and there was a great example where after the pick and roll, they had the ball going from Mike Caffey to Dan Jennings. That's a good combination for head coach Dan Munson. But the help defense was right there, so Dan Jennings had no chance to get the ball.
A one-do. Down low to DJ. Gets tied up, but gets it up on the glass. And we'll say LaSalle had touched it, but had a foot on the floor.
Didn't have it long enough to call a tie-up, but when he touched the ball inbounds and it was foot out of bounds, that is officially out of bounds against Long Beach State.
Dribble handoff, Spradling. Second option, DJ Johnson's got another one. Well-run inbounds play.
Yeah, and physical, but under control finish there by the Wildcats inside. DJ Johnson actually created some contact and still was able to put the ball up.
Foul on Wesley Iwundu.
DJ Johnson's time must be the start of the second half. Here, part of a dribble handoff, rolling to the basket. He's got the big defender on him, able to pump fake, go up and score.
Ball screen. Pick and roll, thrown away, looking inside for Jennings.
Good idea by A.J. Spencer in his first start. Played at Hutchinson Junior College here in the state of Kansas. But that time, just a bad pass, not good execution, even though he had the right idea.
Points off turnovers, and K-State has forced turnovers on both possessions to begin the half. Southwell short on this three, and two of them in the first half. Caffey behind the back. Good feed to Jennings. That might be the best offensive play of the game for the 49ers.
Did a nice job pushing the ball up the court. And the Wildcats scrambling back seem to be all over the lane. I'm not sure how he got the ball through the Wildcats. Good catch as well, and finished by Dan Jennings.
Foster buries his third three.
He had 4 in that big game against ORU, part of 25 points. He's hit his last 3 here today. There's that help defense. Everyone knows where Mike Caffey is.
Spencer unable to answer. Good ball movement. A 1-2 baseline drive and a foul. Will go on Nick Shepard. That's his third.
Unselfish play ends with the ball in Wesley Iwundu's hands. He didn't settle for the outside shot. Tried to cut to the basket and was stopped and fouled. Same inbounds play.
Iwundu all alone. Line drive 3, back rim. And rebounded by Michaela Sal. Lead pass, Jennings. Oh, wow. Great hustle by the big guy. Beating everybody down court.
Football season crosses over with basketball. He could be a tight end.
Foster looking for another 3, and he hits.
He could be a star. What a beautiful shot he has.
So 8 of 10 from beyond the arc in his last 2 games, and that's after he went 0 of 6, which is going to kill his field goal percentage in the first game against Northern Colorado. A star in the making.
49ers go to a zone. They finished off the first half playing a zone. 2 front zone.
Southwell had it tipped away, looking inside for Gibson. That'll send us to another timeout. 49-28, Kansas State up big. Resources Fund, reducing dependence on foreign oil while strengthening the Kansas economy. For more information, go to kansasstrong.com. K-State looking at a zone out of the timeout. Shot clock into single digits. 3 for Lawrence. Off to Foster. Not this time after hitting 4 in a row. Had to rush that one a bit. And a rebound, or a foul on the rebound attempt.
Well, Nigel Johnson tries to tip it in for about 5 feet. He's going to get 2 shots. He had some big rebound numbers in the exhibition game that K-State played. Almost a double-double. The offside rebound for the point guard. Got a quick jump. Mike Caffey got him on the arm. And that will be called a shooting foul.
Freshman out of Ashburn, Virginia. 15 points, 9 rebounds against Pitt State in the exhibition.
His father, Sidney, played 4 years in the NFL and played football and basketball in college.
Southwell clocked on the side of the head.
And Southwell tries to jump the outlet dribbler. popped. I'm not sure if the elbow or the hand end up getting Shane Southwell's head.
Looks like he's okay. It was inadvertent. Skipped over to Omari Lawrence. Up high to Foster. Gibson. Jennings got the rebound, but then took an extra step.
While yanking it away, he hopped from right foot to the left, changed his pivot feet, and got called for the travel.
First shot attempt of the season for Thomas Gibson, a bit strong, and Jennings will head to the bench for a break for Dan Munson. Jennings, the guy got Gonzaga rolling.
He also was a coach for 7 years at Minnesota.
Yeah, in fact, him and Bruce Weber have met 5 times previously in the Big Ten, and Bruce Weber won all 5.
Illini over Minnesota.
LaSalle. Southwell saves it into Johnson. K-State with numbers. Foster looking for another 3. And rebounded by Long Beach State.
May not be what Bruce Weber wants.
Jennings having a big second half.
And that is what Dan Munson wants. What a warrior. Double-double for the 3rd of his 4 games this year. But you said K-State had numbers on the break, and yet they settled for a 3-point shot.
Good luck early.
He just enjoys basketball. Where's the stress, Coach? Oh, there's a little stress.
Lost 3 starters from a year ago when they went 14-4 in the Big West. 3 in a row. Big West Conference titles for Munson.
This year they were the preseason pick for 4th in the conference.
Another turnover. Omari Lawrence speeds to the other end.
He did a great job pushing that ball out in front with a long dribble and then turning it into a sprint, and yet was able to slow down and make a nice layup. Good play by Omari Lawrence.
K-State's played some very good defense, but boy, a lot of these turnovers have been unforced by Long Beach State. Just loose with the basketball all day long. K-State has taken advantage to push this out to a 21-point lead.
Yeah, it's been a combination when you have this kind of play. K-State came out with an intensity, but Long Beach State has, like you said, been loose with the basketball all day long.
Step back 3 is good for Branford Jones, his first bucket of the day.
He only played 1 game last year and had an ankle injury in that game and then ended up redshirting. Was out for the rest of the year. K-State's Marcus Foster's on the bench right now. Where will K-State get their scoring opportunity against this zone?
Southwell out of there as well. And an extra step for Nigel Johnson. 1 new in for Omari Lawrence. Omari's had a nice day. 8 points. His career high. 12 last year in the win over Texas here in Bramlage.
He's had 2 double-figure scoring games in his career.
Good offense here, and another 3 for Jones. Back-to-back triples for the freshman out of Texas.
He had only 2 3-point makes coming into this game in their first 3 games, but back-to-back able to score and pull within 15.
Lead has been as big as 23. Nigel Johnson up and under, draws the foul.
A lot of time left in the game if K-State doesn't keep their focus, and led by Dan Jennings. The energy level for Long Beach State is expected to continue. This guy only knows 1 speed. 17 rebounds earlier this year, and he may be on his way to that type of number today.
14 points and 11 rebounds. Johnson will shoot 2. Jennings will come back in. Southwell and Johnson return for Bruce Weber.
And Jennings got a good rest right there. 14 points, 11 rebounds, 7 of 8, because he's just worked around the rim. Offensive rebounds lead to easy scores.
And the well has gone dry here at the other end for K-State over the last 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, they haven't found a way to work against this 2-3 zone to come up with the looks they like. Those things in early season action. You not only have to play against man-to-man, you're going to have to play against some zones to be successful. So far, they've been relying on Marcus Foster to hit threes.
Good movement here into DJ Johnson. Johnson is fouled. K-State will be back at the free throw line.
Well, you can see where Bruce Weber's emphasis is in the timeout, saying we've got to work against this zone, and there are opportunities to get it inside. You don't have to just settle outside, and a couple times down the court in a row here, K-State's gotten the ball into the bigs.
Always felt like Shane Southwell moves the ball as well as anybody in the Big 12 against his own defense. And with him back in there, let's see if K-State can get some open looks.
Yeah, he really sees the angles, has a good touch on his passes, and you don't have to draw him up on the board. He sees things as they develop and says, oh, here's an opening, and will make people pay. It's a real special skill.
A couple of free throws from DJ Johnson stops the 49er run. Caffey back in there for Dan Munson. Fires over to Spencer. Into a 1-2, leaves it short, and Johnson with the rejection. Long Beach basketball.
Chris Goley does a nice job of giving up and getting a rebound. When you saw the 49er grab the basketball, you thought probably it's Dan Jennings, but it wasn't. Goley getting an offensive board. DJ Johnson called on the armbar against Dan Jennings.
Second on DJ. Team foul number 5 on Kansas State as we head to the midway point of this second half. Caffey wants to drive on Stradling. Will turns him away at the baseline. Jennings. Good help from the weak side by Foster. Forces a wild shot from Jennings.
Good defense. You got to be in the right position early, and that's the thing that the coaches were yelling out to DJ Johnson. Don't let him catch it close, and when he's a ways away from the basket, it's a much harder shot. And then when the help defense came, he threw it up and had no chance.
Reach in on Mike Caffey.
There's one of the new interpretations where in the past that wouldn't have been called. As Marcus Foster took off on the dribble and reached out and made contact, and there's a foul against Mike Caffey. Good man movement so far by the Wildcats against the zone in the last possession.
Southwell got double teamed. The 1-2 wants to drive all the way to the rim.
Here's the seam that the Wildcats are looking for. Most of the time when you take that dribble, you're going to have to pass. Someone will show up and try to stop you, but Wandu recognized that no one did. Took it all the way to the rim for a score.
7 for the freshman. Lead is 17 for Kansas State. Jennings tied up by Foster. Tries to pull it away there, and they're going to call it a tie-up. Long Beach State will keep it at this end.
Wesley Awandu, a Wildcat freshman, who catches the ball and says, if you're not going to stop me, I'll take it all the way to the rim. Jennings is worried about the pass and let him go straight for the score. Wandu is a guy, a mid-sized guy to a bigger-sized guy who can dribble the basketball. We talked about it on transition opportunities, fast breaks, but also in the offense.
Goalie over the top of DJ Johnson. Count the tip and a foul on Kansas State. I think it was David Samuels getting the athletic finish.
Samuels up and using the right hand while getting a slight shove on his left side. Able to tip it back in and has a chance for a three-pointer.
For Samuels, his first two of the afternoon.
Bronx, New York, played in junior college in Texas last year. A number of new players for Long Beach State this year. Big reputation to keep up. They're trying to find their way early in the year following 3 straight Big West champions.
Nigel Johnson's checked back in, has the rebound for Kansas State.
Long Beach State cut 9 points off the lead. Things have settled, and the teams have played pretty even. Who's going to make the next push? Will it be Long Beach State to pull them back into the ball game, or K-State to finish it off?
Southwell from 15. First two of the second half for Southwell.
Good to work against that zone. If you move the ball quickly from side to side to get the ball along the baseline. I'll tell you about the dichotomy of being a college athlete. How much fun is it for a paid trip to go to Puerto Rico for a week in a tournament? And how awful is it that you're a student and school's still on? So they're going to make sure all the lessons get down there with you. And you get a break between the games and practice. And right when you want to hang out at the beach, they say, well, don't forget study table for a couple hours. Because the rest of the university is still working. And so are they.
It's a business trip, right?
They'll still have a great time, but it's not like it's Christmas break.
Next year, K-State's set to play in the Maui tournament. Kids haven't been there since the mid-90s.
Before the shot, foul. Mike Cathy will be able to go to the line. Good to see him on the floor, Ben. Twisted that right ankle when he stepped on the foot of Amari Lawrence. Went to the half, limping, and came back out and is available to play. And there's an outside chance these two teams could meet in next week. They're on opposite sides of the 8-team bracket in Puerto Rico.
Caffey with just his 5th point. Again, the leading scorer on this team at 18.7 points a game. He never really got started and then tweaked the ankle. It's been a tough afternoon for him. Leads the team not only in scoring, but from his point guard position, assists and steals too.
Big-time competition in Puerto Rico. Michigan, TCU.
K-State gets Charlotte in the opener, and then a potential matchup with Georgetown in the semis. Georgetown
second in the Big East.
Yep, picked second in the Big East this year.
And Thomas Gibson trying to post up. It's called for having too much strength and clearing out. He said, I lost 15 pounds. I thought I could push it a little bit more. K-State has allowed Thomas Gibson to ease back into the game. They haven't needed his production to be in control from start to finish.
Yeah, no points today for Thomas. They'll need him come Thursday against Charlotte, though.
Morning tip-off Central Time.
Jennings, guarded by the smaller Southwell. 8 for Caffey. shot, and he got it.
He may not have scored many points today, but a couple of his baskets are highlight reel with defenders all over him.
The degree of difficulty that time for Caffey, and Gibson will head to the line looking for his first points of the day.
Caffey's got a little NBA move in him where he has a guy on him and he's guarded. He's able to get some separation and lean back. He's done it from 15 feet. This one almost all the way out to the three-point arc. Good vertical leap to give himself time to square up with his upper body.
And Gibson's on the board. 62% foul shooter as a sophomore a year ago. 14 starts last year for Thomas. Had a season-high 20 against Texas Tech. Was in double figures 14 times. 8 of those were in Big 12 play.
A couple games with 10 or more rebounds. 1 double-double during the non-conference slate. And an added element that Bruce Weber needs to compete against the best teams.
Johnson returning to Coach Weber.
There's the ball screen.
Spencer off target on a 3 and out of bounds off of Will Spradling.
Still a good play by Will Spradling because you saw Dan Jennings geared up and ready to get a rebound. He tried to just fight that away. Bruce Weber yelling out to his club, "You got a rebound."
Jennings has 12 boards today.
Just a normal day at the office for him.
Yeah, right on his season average. Sal. Caffey the rebound with the left hand spins it in. A couple of athletic plays by Mike Caffey. 15-point margin.
He had that completely under control, just daring Thomas Gibson to foul him.
Southwell sneaking behind the zone is fouled going up. Foster and Omari Lawrence will come in with 5:35 left.
Shane Southwell working along that baseline has helped K-State play against the zone defense a little better here in the last few minutes.
13. Shane Southwell. Shane only shot 35 free throws all of last season. Something you'd like to see him become more than just a jump shooter. Athletic enough to get to the rim and finishes 2 free throws.
He plays that stretch 4 position, and sometimes it's hard to even get into an angle with some of those bigger guys to get that shot where you'll get fouled closer to the basket. Sometimes he's pulling them away from the basket. He's a good free throw shooter when given the opportunity. He didn't shoot that many. I think if he shot more, he'd be a higher percentage guy. He's got a good shot.
K-State switches up high. Now that ball is kicked. They'll reset the shot clock with 5:09 to go on the game clock.
And you get a view of
15 on the shot.
Dan Munson's offense right there. They're very reliant this year on Mike Caffey to get the offense started. They had ball screens all over the place for him at the top of the key.
There's another one. Good hedge by Gibson.
A lot of help. Everyone's stepping up.
Caffey's going to have to do it on his own. That didn't hit the rim, and a shot clock violation.
He's searching and probing, trying to find an opportunity to get a free look at the basket, and K-State not allowing it.
The crowd appreciates the defensive effort, and K-State coaching staff up applauding it as well.
And Munson wants him to take good looks. They're going to have the ball in his hands a lot. He's a good passer. And then if he misses, if he can penetrate and get the ball up softly off the rim, Dan Jennings becomes lethal as an offensive rebounder. So that's their best offensive strategies.
Spradling in rhythm. Omari Lawrence had it, then lost it, now got it back. Spradling from 13. Good look by Shane Southwell. And the first two of the half for Will. And foul in the backcourt on Omari Lawrence. 19-point advantage.
Well, here's one of those examples where you get the ball to the baseline, and if someone will cut into the middle of the defense, there's going to be an opening, and you don't always expect it to be a smaller guy who comes from the other wing. But Spradling and Shane Southwell are the veterans that understand the angles and where the offense gives you opportunities, and it ends up being an easy score. That'll be the challenge for K-State. The athleticism, the aggressiveness, the confidence of the team in the first half. And also leads the Wildcats in rebounding today. Marcus Foster at the line to shoot two. It's K-State's in the double bonus. Foster, the leading scorer today with 15. It is 3 of 4 from the foul line. Got another one here, averaging 16. Very patient day today. Hasn't forced it and still ends up being the leading scorer.
Boy, he's got a good looking stroke, doesn't he?
Yeah, he turns that free throw into a jump shot, and he elevates it. Kind of an old school jump shot. Even from three-point range, he lifts himself into the air and then has perfect rotation. Mike Evans would probably like that shot even. Old star bomber for the Wildcats. Back in the 70s.
Ball tipped out of bounds. Long Beach State will keep it with 12 to shoot.
Mike Evans, war number 12. Very good player for the Denver Nuggets. But before the three-point line, he shot a ton of shots deep for the Wildcats.
A couple of number 12s retired up there. Mike Evans, Ron Kruger. Steve Henson doesn't have his jersey retired, but he was named the All-Century team, and he wore 12 as well.
And he just was inducted into the K-State Athletic Hall of Fame.